whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Schools with Heart. If you've watched the first 11 videos, I'm so proud of you. You're very serious about creating the SEL classroom of your dreams, and that says so much about you. First and most important, it says you're committed to being the best teacher you can possibly be. Congratulations, and never give up, because you can always get better. Next, it says you love kids, and you want to be the best for your kids. Happy day! If you haven't yet already, you will soon be witnessing miracle transformations. Please share your victories in the comments. By doing so, you'll definitely encourage others on their SEL journey. And finally, the fact that you've watched all the previous videos says that you have a growth mindset and grit. You're not allowing a fixed mindset to convince you that you don't have what it takes to create that powerful SEL curriculum based on that focus. And added to all that, you're definitely becoming more emotionally intelligent as you commit to this journey. Remember, the definition of emotional intelligence is being smart about your feelings and the feelings of others. As you listen to my videos and read my books, you'll learn to love your students on deeper levels, and that's the bottom line of it all. For where there's great love, there are miracles. Today's video is one of the ways I show my students that I love them and am committed to being the absolute best teacher I can be. But a word of warning, don't do this unless you're humble enough to admit when you're wrong. Don't do this unless you're 100% willing to listen to constructive criticism from your students. Doing this will make you a better teacher, and your students will love you for it. But it isn't always easy. With that warning in mind, today I'm going to tell you all about the power of the classroom social contract. Years ago, when our district implemented a program called Capturing Kids' Hearts, I learned that an integral part of the program was the creation of a social contract to be signed by every student. The idea behind the contract was that by the second week of school, all teachers would conduct a serious discussion with each of their classes, which would establish the class expectations. Everyone would have a chance to share their ideas, and then once all ideas were on the board, the class would vote on which ones to adopt. Ideas included, everyone will show respect, everyone will help each other, no one will laugh at others, etc., etc. It was supposed to be a very serious commitment. Students were taught that when you sign your name to a piece of paper, you have to do what the paper says. You have to be responsible to do what you say you will do. In other words, you have to have integrity. It was a great idea, but in time, two big gaping holes emerged. Many students were too young to grasp the seriousness of the signature. As a result, the contract was just a piece of paper on the wall with a bunch of words. It held no personal meaning for them. The other hole was, unfortunately, the fault of the teachers, who, like the students, didn't take the contract seriously. For most, it was a mandatory assignment that, when accomplished and posted, was soon ignored. But I'll never forget the art teacher at our school who brilliantly used the social contract in her room. One day, I happened to visit her in the middle of a class, and a mature, polite student immediately approached me, introduced herself, welcomed me to the class, and asked if I would like to see their social contract. I was blown away, 100% impressed. As the student explained each item, the rest of the class remained completely focused on their lesson, without disruption. Theirs was a true master teacher. I, like the art teacher, make our social contracts a central theme. Notice I said contracts, plural. I decided to expand the idea to conclude include three contracts. One contract that included items I expected of the students, one contract that included items the students respected of each other, and one contract that included items the students could expect of me. When we had the discussion about my social contract, I invited them to tell me what they wanted of me as their teacher that year. And so I've made a pretend social contract for you today. This isn't a real one. My real one is always on the wall, and I don't take it off. But you can see that I just added, I will not embarrass you. I will not yell at you. I will be patient. I will listen to your side. I will help you reach your full potential. I will never give up on you. I will create a positive learning environment. These are just possible. The list was always about twice this long, and then I always signed it at the bottom. So I made this for you just to kind of show you what it looks like. Close by also was don't have favorites, don't give us meaningless homework, make class fun, and so on. When I had all three, I typed them out on my computer, took them to Kinko's, of course, where they were enlarged. I glued them on colored poster board like I do always, and I displayed them on the wall in front of the room, So every day, when we started the day, it was always with a quick discussion of our social contract progress. I was empowering the kids to make it their class, our class, not my class. It's so important. They started holding each other accountable for their actions. And yes, I taught them to hold me accountable. I actually told them that I was looking forward to the day when I would break my social contract. That I was looking forward to find out who in the class was brave enough to raise their hand and respectfully say, Miss LaField, I think you just broke your social contract. I had to say that several times to remind them, just to drive it home that I really meant it. And then one day, every year without fail, every year that day would come. It was always about embarrassing someone. And that one brave student would raise his or her hand and say, with complete respect, Miss LaField, I think you just embarrassed so-and-so. It was in those moments that you could hear a pin drop, utter silence. My students were just waiting and watching to see what I would do. Would I keep my word and own the truth? To their utter surprise, I would stop everything and ask the class, raise your hand if you think I just embarrassed so-and-so. And every hand would go up, every time. That was a moment for two things. Congratulations to the brave student who broke the ice and a public apology to the student I had embarrassed. Do you see the beauty in the moment? My students are amazed and grateful to have a teacher who really means what she says, who actually apologizes, who actually admits when she's wrong, who wants to be a great teacher. It's time for me to live the lesson, to point to the poster on the wall with a repentant little boy. And here it is for you in the poster book. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Will you forgive me? And do those students always forgive me? You bet they do. Every time. That scenario invariably plays out several times a year. Teachers aren't perfect. The only thing that improves it is that the kids are less and less afraid to hold me accountable to my social contract as the days pass by. That's because trust grows when I live the lessons with integrity. This year, I don't have 3 contracts because we have our respect expectations, the poster I showed you in episode 7. But I will continue to include my personal contract until the day comes that I am no longer a classroom teacher. I will faithfully invite the kids to hold me accountable as I model the SEL lessons I'm teaching them. Lessons like personal integrity, owning the truth, asking forgiveness, striving to be the best, and displaying humility. If you decide to introduce social contracts, please let me know in the comments. One day soon, I'm going to announce a date for our first live broadcast. They'll be on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. I want to see faces and know names. That will happen. It's just a question of when. Hopefully you already hit the like button, you subscribed long ago, and you're sharing our channel with friends all over the country. Let's make those algorithms really rock the internet. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.